Okay guys, this is my Fak Yao winter melon and pork red curry, and a winter melon weighing in at 3.5 kilos. Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to Backyard Chef, and I'm Rick. Fuck you! Fuck you! No, we're not joking, it's actually called Fak Yao. Okay, and we're going to make a pork and Fak Yao curry. Now, my pronunciation might not be quite right for Fak Yao, but Fak Yao is a winter melon. Okay, so what we want to do, guys, we want to start with the melon and we want to cut this in half. So straight in half, if we can. We can't. It is tough as old boots. And this is a sharp knife too. Right, as if you notice, guys, this has got a white chalky type skin on it. Okay, so if you pick when the Fak Yao has gone white like this, you can keep it for about a year. Amazing, amazing for a vegetable to be kept for a year. This is why it's called Fak Yao. It's telling me to Fak Yao. Let's get that back up for you. Right, now let's carry on. So, nice and steady, guys. All the way through. And then we have our veg. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful. So what we'll do, we'll just use half and we'll put this half to one side. But that is not going to go through in a straight line, is it? We're going to end up with some curvy piece of veg. So all we do is just turn it round and get it through there. Turn it round and drive it through, he says. Be a load of cuts on this one. And there we got our 2 pieces of Fak Yao. So I'll just give my hands a wipe. Okay, what we're going to do, guys, we'll keep this one and put this one to one side. And we're going to lay it down because we're going to take the skin off. So nice and steady then, skin off all the way around. There we go, skin off. As tough as leathery old boots. We don't want that, we'll get rid of that. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to cut this straight in half. And then we got all the seedy bits in the middle. Right, we don't need this seedy bit here, so we need to take this out. So let's get that out of there. Okay, nice and steady. Just take it out. And that's it. Job done. Just take out some of this white pith. Nice and gently. And that is our veg. So repeat that with all of them. Nice and steady in there. Take that out. Nice and steady. Don't cut your fingers. So this, as you can see, is shaped like that. So you can already take it into 3 pieces like that. And then we can actually cube it across. I think what we do, we take it across about 1 centimeter pieces, nice and steady. So we got these nice 1 centimeter pieces. And that is our Fak Yao cubed and prepared for our curry. Right guys, I'm going to take our pork. So this is pork collar guys, we're using pork collar today, and we want to slice this quite thinly, about 1/2 centimeter thick. Okay, so we want to slice it about 1/2 centimeter thick. So we want a little bit of slice of meat in there. We don't want it too thin, and obviously we don't want it too fat. So that's about perfect. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put that in our bowl. So let's take that all the way across there, because there's a lot of meat here. And then we just need to work our way across the meat, getting some nice slices. There we are. That's our pork chopped up, ready for our curry. Right guys, what we got in here, we've got some Thai cardamom. We've got 6 or 7 Thai cardamom, and we've got some bay leaves. Now, what we're going to do, we're actually going to dry roast that in this pan, okay, nice and gently. So we'll put them in our pan, and we're going to dry roast them for an aroma. Okay guys, here's our ingredients. This is very, very simple curry, not many ingredients at all. We've got our Fak Yao, we've got our pork, we've got our red curry paste, and then we start with the spices and the seasoning, okay? We've got our dry roasted bay leaves and cardamom, 1/2 tablespoon of turmeric, about 1/2 tablespoon of palm sugar. We'll have probably about a heaped tablespoon of curry powder. We've got coconut milk and fish sauce. And that is our ingredients. So we need to put a little bit of oil in the pan and get going. Now we get some gas on guys. We only want it about medium to high, we don't want it too high. So nice and steady, get the oil warmed up. We've got a decent flame, as he burns his fingers. And we want about 1.5 tablespoons of our red chili paste. So get that in there, give it a little stir around, just cook out a little bit of the rawness. Now this is a very easy curry to make actually, but it's a bog standard way of starting off a red curry, you know. You get your curry paste in there, cook out the rawness, and then you add your coconut milk. So cook it out till you get that really pleasantly strong aroma from your curry paste. So in with a bit of coconut milk. Get that in there. Give it a bit of a cooking down. Nice and steady. You're building up our flavours in our pan. So nice and steady then. Absolutely amazing. So we don't want this to burn on the bottom of the pan. Nice and steady. Add a bit more coconut milk and cook it through. And that should lift off the bottom of the pan okay. I'm just going to swap this spoon out guys for a wooden spatula actually. So we can give it a bit of a scrape round on the bottom.
So as you can see guys, look, we're getting the oil separation coming through there. Right then guys, now we're ready for our pork there. So we'll just put all our pork in, chip it all in, and we'll give it a stir through. Give it a nice coating in that pork mixture, in that curry mixture. We want our pork to be really nicely submerged and coated, so it starts to take on all those flavours that's in that pan. So get it in there, give it a good stirring in and a good mix up. And then all we do then is let it stir fry a little minute to start releasing the oils and the fats out of the pork. So nice and steady guys, what we're trying to do is cook the pork through a little bit. So we need to be making sure it's in contact with the pan, so keep turning it round, turn it over. Right guys, what we need to do is add our dried roasted spices, our bay leaf and our cardamom. Get that in there. Give that a stir in. Let that flavour release in there as well. Right guys, there's one thing about this Fak Yao actually that the Thais believe in, okay? Now whether it's true or not, and it does seem to work, that if you're really hot and you eat the Fak Yao, it cools you down inside. Now the texture of this, I mean this is raw. The texture of this is like, well, I mean it is called winter melon. So it is like a really raw melon that's not ripe. That's the same sort of texture. You know, there's another dish that they actually use this with actually. Pork ribs in soup, which is quite nice. It's sort of like a blandish soup with pork in. Right, what we need to do guys, we need to add about 2 cups of coconut milk. That's about 1. Oh, and that's about 2. So give that a stir through. We might put a bit more in actually. Stir that through. We probably will put a little bit more in actually, because there doesn't seem to be too much fluid in here, and this is obviously going to evaporate. So I'll put another little bit in now actually and stir it in so it cooks. That's about right. I'll put a little splash of water in guys as well, just to help it along there for the boiling. Nice and steady. Let it come back up to the boil. So what we can do, we can put a lid on just to help it along its way. When it comes to the boil, we'll put our Fak Yao in. So it's just coming up now, look. Just give it a little stir. Make sure nothing's sticking on the bottom. So this is one of those curries that you don't actually do much work about, you know. You bring it to the boil, put everything in, and let it cook. Cook for 40 minutes or more. And everything goes nice and soft and tender and the curry's ready. We want about a tablespoon of fish sauce, a nice tablespoon, and then we want to add about half a tablespoon of palm sugar. Get that in there, give it a little stir in. Now this is boiling away too high actually, so we're going to turn this down a little bit, and then we're going to add our Fak Yao. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add to our curry mix. There we go. So add our Fak Yao to our curry mix, stir it all through, and then we're going to put the lid on and bring it back to the boil. Right guys, time to give it a stir around and a taste test, see how we're doing. So let's give it a try. Wow, very hot. Right, we're going to put in a little bit more. We're going to put at least half a tablespoon of fish sauce, and we're going to put another half a tablespoon of palm sugar in our curry. So we'll get that in there. Give it a stir in, and then we'll put the lid back on for another 5 minutes and check everything to see if it's cooked. We'll put the lid back on. Right, we need to try and see if our Fak Yao is soft enough. I think it is. So let's get one of those out of there somehow. Let's get one of these out of here and give it a taste. That is boiling. Be careful. A little bit of a crunch to it. It is really, really good. See if we can find a small piece of pork. Give the pork a taste test. Now this is really, really hot. Really, 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 really hot. Oh. Oh. Tender as anything, just melts in your mouth. I would say that that curry is made. Excellent. We just need to serve it up now. Right, let's serve a little bit up. Nice and gently. Put some of this Fak Yao in the bottom of here with some sauce.